Mary was like many adults with congenital heart disease. They know that they had a serious heart problem. They know that they had done very, very well throughout the first decades of life. What they don't know is that they're very likely to be in for some future problems. And Mary turns out to have been in that category. An issue that we have currently in our culture, in the pediatric age group, is this epidemic of obesity. And the concern is that we're going to have the first generation of children who do not live as long as their parents.
My name is Maureen, and Mary Frances and I have been best friends since I was 1 and Mary Frances was 3. My mom likes to say I was born to take care of Mary, and although I did my share of pushing her on the swing, Mary Frances really took care of herself. To say that she was overprotected is an understatement, yet she persevered. Let other children have a chance at life, like my friend, Mary Frances.
I had never been sick a day in my life. I was probably a few months pregnant, and they said it might help or hurt the fetus. We're not sure. We'll go along, take whatever drugs you have to take, and we'll just go on with the pregnancy. We had a normal birth. Everything was wonderful. Another girl, we had 2 girls at home, and it was great. Husband came in, we talked about it. He left. All of a sudden, Jim came back, and he said something's wrong with the baby. He said they're gonna check her out and see what's wrong, and they're gonna operate.
Well, we were expecting the worst as a result of my wife's illness while she was pregnant. Went home to sort of celebrate and spread the news to the family. And a matter of hours later, I got a call from the doctor and said, Mary, she doesn't look too good. She looks a little dusky. I think you better come back to the hospital. And through better examination, they found Mary had developed a tumor on her lung, and this should be removed immediately. So we all took a deep breath and found a doctor in the hospital, a pediatric surgeon. She went through that operation, and she was a fighter. And the doctor talked, as all surgeons do, after it was over, and he said the operation was a complete success. But he also said during the operation he could tell and see that her heart was not operating correctly. The doctor who performed this emergency surgery advised me in no uncertain terms that I would lose my daughter if I did not put her through another operation. They used a solution or a way to keep her valve big enough, angioplasty. And that's what they would do. They would stretch her valve a little bit, and she would be good for another period of time. And he put his hand up and he put his finger up and said, Jim, I stretched her valve as much as I could, and it should last. It should last, and this is the way we left. That was the big change, and at this time everybody knew 2 steps better, or whatever the scale might be, and they could replace the valve that they had been stretching for 45 years.
Many days of worrying and wondering, and as years went on, she kept doing, and I'd always try to say no, and she kept saying yes. Everything, college, no, locally, you can't go to college. But she managed, she did it. She graduated with a 4.0, no downtime. And getting married, it's a real job. And then having children, worried to death. The things that have gone on with the medical profession, where would we be without the improvements, what goes on today with heart associations? I mean, it's amazing. I want to protect her. I want her to be around for 30, 40 years for her children. They adore her.
It's really corny, but I'd love to say thank you to my mom. I mean, it must have been so hard. There must have been so much she was not telling us as kids. I mean, you don't tell your children that, you can't breathe right half the time, especially we're living in Colorado and the air is thinner here, and that automatically was harder for her. But she never complained at all. She did everything and more that a normal mother without tetralogy FLO would do. As I said, she was at everything. What I want to do in my life is absolutely directly related to my mom's impact on me. Up at Carnegie Mellon, I'm actually double majoring, and what I want to do with that is, after undergraduate, go to med school and hopefully become a cardiologist.
I didn't really know it was hard when I was younger because she was such a good and involved mom, and I'm just thankful for her helping shape the person that I am today. I'm emphasizing my studies in kinesiology because the complexities of her congenital defect have really interested me, and it's very much because of her I'm doing what I'm doing, or I want to be doing what I want to be doing.
So I did give it some thought, and I decided yes, that tonight I would be honored to be the American Heart Association's feature in their survivor story. I decided that it was time to get my story out there and give hope to parents and children and babies born with congenital heart defects, that there is hope, that they will live a happy, healthy, normal life. So let's help the American Heart Association raise those funds tonight so other children can have a life like mine. I would like to thank my parents for giving me life. I'd like to thank my sons for fulfilling my life. And I would like to thank the American Heart Association for funding the research that saved my life. Salute.